Hello and welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing great today. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt confused about when to use and, but, or, although in English sentences? Many English learners use these words every day, but they still make mistakes because they do not fully understand how these words connect ideas. Today, we are going to master these three powerful words in a very simple and interesting way. By the end of this lesson, you will clearly understand the meaning, structure, and correct usage of and, but, and although. You will also learn common mistakes, important grammar rules, and practical examples that you can use in daily English conversations, writing, and speaking. So stay with me until the end because this lesson will improve both your grammar and your fluency. Let us begin with the word and. The word and is one of the most common conjunctions in English. A conjunction is a word that connects ideas, words, phrases, or sentences together. And is used when we want to add information or connect similar ideas. In simple words, and means addition. It joins one thing to another thing. For example, I like tea and coffee. Here, and connects two nouns, tea and coffee. Another example, she opened the door and entered the room. In this sentence, and connects two actions. And is very useful because it helps sentences sound smooth and natural. Without conjunctions, English would sound broken and robotic. Look at this sentence. I woke up. I brushed my teeth. I went to school. This sounds unnatural. Now listen carefully. I woke up, brushed my teeth, and went to school. This sounds much better because the ideas are connected naturally. Now let us understand where we can use and. We use and to connect words. Example: Ali and Ahmed are brothers. We use and to connect phrases. Example: she likes singing and dancing. We use and to connect clauses or complete ideas. Example: I studied hard and I passed the exam. Now let us discuss an important grammar point. When we connect two complete sentences with and, we often use a comma before and. For example, I wanted to go outside, and my brother wanted to stay home. The comma helps make the sentence clear and readable. However, if the sentence is short, the comma is often unnecessary. For example, I cooked and he cleaned. Now let us look at 5 important examples of and. Example 1. My father bought fruits and vegetables from the market. Example 2. She was tired and hungry after work. Example 3. We watched a movie and ate popcorn together. Example 4. The baby smiled and laughed happily. Example 5. I finished my homework and went to sleep. Now let us talk about common mistakes with and. One common mistake is using too many ands in one sentence. For example, I woke up and ate breakfast and took a shower and left the house and went to work. This sentence sounds repetitive and weak. A better version is, I woke up, ate breakfast, took a shower, and left for work. Another mistake is forgetting parallel structure. Listen carefully. Incorrect. She likes reading and to swim. Correct. She likes reading and swimming. Or, she likes to read and to swim. The structures should match. Now let us move to the second word, but. But is also a conjunction, but it has a completely different purpose. While and adds information, but shows contrast. It connects two opposite or different ideas. In simple words, but means however, yet, or in contrast. For example, I wanted to sleep, but I had work to do. The first idea and second idea are opposite. Another example, She is rich, but she is unhappy. Again, there is contrast between being rich and being unhappy. But is extremely important in English because life is full of contrasts. We often want to show differences, surprises, or unexpected situations. Now let us see where we use but. We use but to show contradiction. Example: he studied hard, but he failed the test. This is surprising because we expect hard work to lead to success. We use but to compare opposite qualities. Example: the room is small, but comfortable. We use but to introduce unexpected information. Example: the weather was cold, but we enjoyed the trip. Now let us discuss punctuation. When but connects two complete sentences, we usually place a comma before but. For example, I called him, but he did not answer. The comma separates the two ideas clearly. Now let us study 5 examples of but. Example 1. I was hungry, but there was no food in the kitchen. Example 2. She speaks softly, but everyone listens carefully. Example 3. The car is old, but it still works perfectly. Example 4. He is intelligent, but sometimes careless. Example 5. They invited me, but I could not attend the party. Now let us discuss common mistakes with but. One mistake is using but and although together incorrectly. Incorrect: although it was raining, but we played football. Correct: although it was raining, we played football. Or, it was raining, but we played football. Remember this rule carefully. Do not use although and but together in the same sentence to connect the same two ideas. Another mistake is overusing but in conversation. Some learners begin every sentence with but. For example, but I went there, but I saw him, but I did not talk. This sounds unnatural. Use but only when there is a contrast. Now let us move to the third word, although. Although is also used to show contrast, just like but. However, the sentence structure is different. Although means despite the fact that it introduces a dependent clause. That means the sentence after although cannot usually stand alone. For example, although it was late, we continued working. The part, although it was late, is dependent. It needs another clause to complete the meaning. Now compare these two sentences carefully. It was raining, but we went outside. Although it was raining, we went outside. The meaning is very similar, but the structure changes. This is why many English learners become confused. Let us understand the structure properly. Structure with but. Sentence plus but plus sentence. Example: she was tired, but she finished her work. Structure with although. Although plus sentence. Sentence. Example: although she was tired, she finished her work. Or, she finished her work although she was tired. Both are correct. Now let us discuss where we use although. We use although to show unexpected results. Example: although he practiced daily, he did not win the competition. We use although to show contrast politely and formally. Although often sounds more formal than but. We use although in writing, speeches, articles, and formal communication. Now let us see 5 examples of although. Quote: Example 1. Although the exam was difficult, I passed it successfully. Example 2. Although she was nervous, she gave an excellent presentation. Example 3. Although they were poor, they were very happy. Example 4. Although the road was dangerous, the driver continued the journey. Example 5. Although he apologized, she was still upset. Now let us discuss common mistakes with although. The biggest mistake is adding but. Incorrect. Although I was tired, but I continued studying. Correct. Although I was tired, I continued studying. Another mistake is using incomplete sentences. Incorrect. Although the weather was bad. This sentence is incomplete because the thought is unfinished. Correct. Although the weather was bad, we enjoyed the picnic. Now let us compare and, but, and, although, together. And adds information. Example: I opened the book and started reading. But shows contrast. Example: I opened the book, but I did not read it. Although also shows contrast, but with a different structure. Example: although I opened the book, I did not read it. Now let us make this even clearer with one situation. Imagine a student preparing for an exam. Using and. He studied hard and completed all his notes. This shows addition. Using but. He studied hard, but he still felt nervous. This shows contrast. Using although. Although he studied hard, he still felt nervous. Again, this shows contrast, but in a more formal structure. Now let us discuss an important fluency tip. Native English speakers use these conjunctions naturally because they help connect thoughts smoothly. If you want to sound fluent, you must learn to connect ideas instead of speaking in short broken sentences. Instead of saying, I was tired, I worked late, I finished the project, say, I was tired, but I worked late and finished the project. This sounds more advanced and natural. Now let us do a quick practice section. Listen carefully. Sentence 1. I wanted to buy the phone, blank, it was too expensive. The correct answer is, but. I wanted to buy the phone, but it was too expensive. Sentence 2. She cooked dinner, blank, cleaned the kitchen. The correct answer is, and. She cooked dinner and cleaned the kitchen. Sentence 3. Blank, he was sick, he went to work. The correct answer is, although. Although he was sick, he went to work. Excellent. Now let us learn a few advanced tips. Sometimes, although, can be replaced with, even though. Even though, gives stronger emphasis. Example: although it was raining, we went outside. Even though it was raining, we went outside. The second sentence sounds stronger emotionally. Another tip is that, and, can sometimes show sequence. Example: he opened the door and walked inside. This means the second action happened after the first action. Now here is another important point. In spoken English, many people use but at the beginning of sentences. For example, but I do not agree with you. This is common and acceptable in conversation, although formal writing may avoid it. Now let us review everything quickly. And is used to add similar ideas. But is used to connect opposite ideas. Although is used to show contrast in a more formal structure. And creates flow, but creates contrast. Although creates formal contrast. If you master these 3 words, your English speaking and writing will immediately become clearer, smoother, and more natural. Before we finish, here is a final challenge for you. Try to make 3 sentences. 1 sentence using and, 1 sentence using but, 1 sentence using although. Write your answers in the comments section and practice them aloud. The more you practice, the more confident and fluent you will become. Thank you so much for watching and learning with me today. I hope this lesson helped you clearly understand the difference between and, but, and although. Keep practicing every day because small grammar improvements create big speaking results over time. See you in the next lesson with another powerful English topic. Take care and keep learning English with confidence.